or something. Lavonte.
Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into another edition of the JP Peterson Show on this hump day. Hump day! Yeah, we are ready to rock and roll. Historic times in Tampa Bay sports. We will try to encapsulate what all this stuff means in terms of the leadership vacuum at your Tampa Bay Buccaneers as Mike Evans and now Lavonte David walk out the door in, I guess a matter of a week and a half. Bye-bye. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. The Rays Stadium situation is coming to a head here in the next couple of weeks as our local officials will decide which way this community is headed. Are we going to clutch our pearls and lose our baseball team, or are we going to stand up like men and powerful women and get this deal done and keep the trajectory of this amazing American city headed upwards and not backwards? How about that for a tease? So we'll hit that.
Wow. I feel teased.
You feel teased? Lightning win last night. Boy, Timmy, this was a gritty win. It's a gritty win last night. Gritty. I think it's a big win. I
had the rare double box. Went to the double box like on Red Zone with Stars and Lightning on my TV.
Okay.
Got to watch both games simultaneously.
Are the Stars going to make it? Are they going to make it?
Oh, they'll be fine. They dropped one last night. They were down 4-1, came back and got it within 4-3, but then they gave up a lazy goal with Mike DeSmith in goal, by the way. Wasn't even Ottinger. But no, the Lightning showed me something last night. I mean, without question, they showed me something last night. Yes,
I agree. I think that was a bigger win than people may have calculated. So we'll get into that as well. And a lot of other stuff that will come up. Brian Hodgson doing his press conference at Providence. What's going on in the USF basketball search? They have a women's coach. They're hiring the Alabama coach who's been very, very successful. Maybe not successful enough recently for Alabama, but will certainly be a huge get for USF. So all that coming up and more. And your comments here at the JP Peterson Show, which we appreciate very much. You can do that on YouTube. You can do it on X. You can do it on Facebook and be part of the big show. So thank you so much. Saw Alejandro last night at the Lightning game.
And you can watch the videos always live at fanstreamsports.com.
Yeah, that's right.
JP's show is always on the homepage, and it's also on the Tampa Bay page. So you get it.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, when I remember to put it there.
By the way, the great Scott Hamilton dialed me up this morning. I was on another call, and I couldn't take it. I called him right back, so we have not been able to connect. But great piece on Hubert Davis out at UNC. And the betting favorite to replace him is one Todd Golden, as we told you yesterday, University of Florida head coach. So that's interesting. So where are we going?
Yeah, he called me. He called me last night. He's like, dude, how quick can you get a video up if I do one? I'm like, as soon as you can get it to me, I'll get it up for you.
Oh, there you go.
So it was an emergency Hubert Davis firing video, which of course, we all anticipated coming, but he was pretty excited to do that show.
I'm already being excoriated by my good buddy Devin, who where is it? Yeah, he said, "Can we just not bash the Bucs today?
All that
and just talk about Lavonte." Thank you for reminding me of that. I'll try. I might have to sneak in just a shot or two, But all right. I'll try.
Is it really bashing the Bucs when we're just spouting truth?
Yeah, I know what he's saying.
I do too.
He's absolutely right. Absolutely right. But I mean, we have to put this in perspective, Devin. We just have to put it in perspective. By the way, and I heard your phone call yesterday on the other station, which is really good, by the way. I was listening in between I was listening to the 2 minutes of content between the 80 minutes of commercials. Anyway, the best part of that show. All right, so Brett Phillips was on. I love Brett Phillips. He's a great dude. Thank him for coming on our show as well. All right, so let's get to it. Lavonte yesterday, and I just want to say, just from a personal standpoint, what an absolute pleasure it has been to cover this guy basically for his entire career. He has just been such a breath of fresh air when things were going poorly for the Bucs, and was always there at his locker, no matter how shitty the game was, how bad his team played in front of him, and it was often very bad. Never threw a teammate under the bus, never threw a coach under the bus, even when he's playing his ass off and the rest of it was just not so good. Class act all the way. And yesterday he got super emotional because of his journey, and if you know anything about Liberty City, and I grew up in Hollywood, Florida, north of Liberty City, but was there. I was living there when the Mariel boat lift happened, and, Liberty City was a bad place, and it got a hell of a lot worse. And when you're growing up in that area and you're a successful athlete, the gang structure and all that stuff comes after you in a big, big way. And to be protected by your mom, your dad, your family, your peers. He's one of 6 kids. And his mom was the breadwinner, and he got very emotional about talking about her when she passed in 2016. He almost quit football. Can you imagine that? Almost quit football because that was his reason for playing, is making his mother's life better. Right. His dad was kind of took care of the kids, it's all 6 of them. So it was a very tight-knit family in a place that was really, really tough to grow up in. And the odds of Lavonte David making it to the Hall of Fame out of Liberty City, wow, 1 in a gazillion. And it takes very strong parents to be able to keep kids on the straight and narrow in situations like that. And that's why he's so emotionally attached to his family, his mom and his dad and brothers and sisters. And they were all there yesterday. Well, not his mom and dad. His mom passed and his dad passed not long after he won the Super Bowl. But he got to see him play in the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. So it's an incredible journey of a kid who, I said this yesterday, about 6'1", 225. You would not, if he was walking around in Walmart, you would never even recognize him. You just wouldn't, and except that he's Lavonte David. He doesn't look like a superstar football player. He wasn't bigger. He wasn't super fast, although, this guy just knew how to play football. Super high football IQ. And, I got a chance to ask Todd Bowles what made him different, and maybe a kind of a little story that, nobody saw that kind of emulates what he's all about. So let's play that right now. I guess is this one right here. He's answering another question before I ask mine.
Winfield under his wing. When Devin was here, he took KJ, he took Voss under his wing. Cansey, obviously, they came from the same high school.
Always helping other players.
He gets it, and he understands what guys need, and he talks to them, and he spends time with them, and he gets the most out of them.
Ty, can you recall a moment with Lavonte, maybe behind the scenes, that was just quintessential Lavonte David leadership, or a moment on or off the field that'll really stick with you?
I think one day in practice, and it might have been training camp, and he ran for a play and laid out for a ball that he had no business laying out for, and he wasn't even in pads, and that kind of said everything that needed to be said about him. He never went on the field on a practice day and kind of took the day off and took a vet day or anything else like that. We had to make him sit down, and that kind of exemplified everything that this guy stood for.
Yeah, and that's the thing, when you have a leader on your team that is that guy, that changes everything. Mm-hmm. Because guys are human beings in general are prone to be lazy if they don't have to work. Right? It's kind of the way people are. Football players are different. Yeah. I get that, but when the leaders are doing that, diving for balls in the middle of a training camp and with no pads on, that where everybody goes, oh, that's the way I'm supposed to do it. Oh, I didn't know that. And, it rises all boats, right? That rising tide. Yep. And that's who Lavonte is. When you can find force multipliers, guys that are not just great and play great, but make everybody else around them better. Those are the rare players that make up the core of championship teams. I've covered a lot of championship teams, and I've kind of studied them as I've covered them, and they all have a lot of similar characteristics, and that's one of them. The leadership on these teams are guys that just go above and beyond. Right. They could just coast on their talent. They could coast on their talent and be one of the greatest players in the game, but they don't do that. They combine incredible talent, drive, perseverance, toughness, and just a no-quit mentality and a no-lose mentality, which, by the way, if you're as competitive as Lavonte is and you're constantly losing, that's tough. That's really, really tough on you, and that's why he almost left Tampa Bay more than once. But he's so proud of the fact that he never did. Nothing on Mike. Totally
right.
different situation. But he's proud that he was able to stay. And so it's about the journey, right? It's Liberty City. It's not being recruited, having to go to community college at Fort Scott Community College and then play at Nebraska.
Seasons.
Yeah. And you can imagine what that was like. Like you're taping your own ankles, man. It's hard. But he had a dream, and he was just not going to quit. He was not going to quit. And you want to talk about a guy that got everything out of his ability. That's Lavonte David. And famously, many of you know this story. His silhouette is in the draft room as I am that man. That's the guy that the Buccaneers are looking for. And it's not necessarily that first round guy that has all the talent. Those things kind of take care of themselves. But it's the guys that refine their talent and get better and all those qualities that I just mentioned and bring them all together to make your team better and win. Those are the special ones. And championship teams do not exist without them. And I can give you a litany of who these guys are. And I'll start with Rondé Barber and Derek Brooks and John Lynch. This is who these guys are. And you get more than one. Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski, Tom Brady. And when you get more than one of these guys on a team, that's when the magic happens. And that's, with all due respect to our friend Devin, that's where the Bucs are right now. You just lost two of those guys. That's not just a vacuum of leadership. That is brutal.
And he lost one of them to another team.
Yeah. I didn't want to play here because of what the Bucs are doing now. And that's just facts, Devin. That's just facts.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. And, if Lavonte, he said it was a tough decision. But I think it was made a lot easier when Mike said, I don't believe in this organization. Not right now. Not what they're doing. That sounds harsh. I don't believe in what they're doing now because they're clearly not doing their best to win. That's not debatable.
And in all fairness, look where he was in his career. It's not like he's got great years ahead of him anyway. Right. Those are all behind him. And it was just, regardless of where this organization is, it was time. It was time.
And we always say this, that it rarely ends well. This one does. I think this is, it's not walking off the field with a Super Bowl championship, but as endings go, this one's pretty damn good. This one's pretty damn good. He's leaving on his terms. And for a guy to play 14 years in this league at that position and knock heads that many times, to be leaving with all your faculties and not, crippled, is pretty damn good. Luke Kuechly had to leave the game early. A lot of these guys that play that position have to leave the game early. He played 14 years. And the numbers really are off the charts. They're absolutely off the charts. Now, before I get to the numbers, I want to kind of just go back to the beginning of and kind of set the scene for you a little bit, and we'll show this. So it's always interesting that you bring them into the auditorium, and I've seen a lot of great press conferences in that auditorium, from the signing of Tom Brady to multiple retirements and other signings. There's a lot of history that's happened in that room. And this was another piece of history yesterday as Lavonte, we walk in and all of a sudden you see a lot of players starting to come in, a lot of his compatriots, Anton Winfield Jr., Gerald McCoy, Donald Penn. A lot of guys came from yesteryear that obviously he's played a long time. A lot of his teammates right now, Luke Gedeke was there, Cameron Brate, Nelson. We saw a bunch of guys. And then the Glazers came in, Joel, O'Brien, and Darcy, Jason Light, all the dignitaries of the team were there, of course. Packed house, all the local media were there. And then we're just waiting. We just kind of waiting. And normally the player will come out with his family or with Jason Light or with Todd Bowles. But Todd and Jason were sitting in the front corner. And then he came out and he delivered a pretty emotional speech. So I have two clips here, but we'll I believe this one is the first one. Let's see here. Do a minute. Nope, that's not. Stand by. It's really quiet as we await Lavonte David. Here's the.
It's always such. It's like being in church, man. It's such a tense moment when you're.
Yeah, it is. And I guess there was some drama to this because they wanted to say that he's going to announce what he's going to do,
His future.
I don't think there.
Everybody knew, right?
Yeah, I didn't think there was much drama to this at all, but I guess for some, I want to be respectful to him for him to make the call, publicly.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just want to start off by saying, man, God is amazing. 14 years of playing football to come to this moment. I never thought I'd be in this situation. I never thought I'd be here. Growing up, playing the game of football at like 6 years old, I always did it for the fun of it, did it for the love of it, never cared about what came with it, just because, it was built in me a different way. Just the way it brings joy to people's lives, the way I can impact people's lives, and my 14-year career was a journey. It was a long road to get here. Starting at Liberty City Optimist, going to Miami Northwestern, and then going to junior college is when I didn't think I would get here, just because everything that I went through there, it was a tough journey. But there, I learned, what it takes, to become, accountable. And I learned, that, a lot of people depend on you. And, going to the University of Nebraska, I kept that chip, kept that same mindset. And throughout every year that I've been here, I had that same mentality, All
right, we'll continue this with this is when he gets really emotional.
Help me continue that dream, to help me continue that process. And, I want to thank everybody, throughout, my journey, throughout my career for, pushing me and helping me, be the greatest I can be. And, man, to play at an organization, for this long and to get all the respect that I have from everybody and, from all my peers and the lives that I touched, throughout my career, something you can always dream of. I might get a little emotional because it's always how I always get when I talk about my parents.
Yeah, this was a tough moment.
It's tough to watch.
I mean, everybody has parents, man, but
yeah, this is different.
How much they meant to me.
You hear a pin drop in there.
Growing up where I grew up, it ain't easy. It ain't easy, but they found a way for me. And you don't understand that until you get older, until you have kids of your own. And the sacrifices they made for you, the things they did for you. It's just thinking about my dad, the sacrifices he made. He was never the breadwinner in our family, but for some reason, him and my mom made it work. And their relationship lasted for so long. And when you saw, how they was compatible with each other and how they made our lives easier. And, we had one car. My mom took the car to work. And my dad used to take me to practice on his handlebars, and on a bike.
How about that?
Walk sometimes, and as a kid, you like, dang man, like that walk was a far walk. But you realize, it's a sacrifice that you gotta make to help your sons, your kids' dreams come true. And And they did it. And it was a point in my career, you know, when my mom passed away in 2016, I didn't care about football no more. I didn't want to play no more. I didn't care for it anymore. I wanted to, you know, just give it up because honestly, I didn't have a reason no more. I didn't have, you know, I was doing everything I was doing because I wanted to, you know, make all her dreams come true because she helped me make my dreams come true the day that I got drafted. And, you know, from then on, I was just working to make her life easier, make her life happy. And the day that she passed away, I thought I lost it all. And luckily, I had friends, family. You know, Gerald was one of those guys who, you know, came to my side because he went through that early in his football journey, and he, you know, helped me get through it. And
yeah, that was the gist of it, man. It's you know, again, you go back to the way he grew up and where he grew. His dad had to walk him there because if he didn't, you know, he'd be messed up by the gangs. And you had to take him to the, you know, on his handlebars. It was probably a couple miles, you know, and everybody think, you know, because they only have one car. Like I say, when I say 1 in a million, it's 1 in a million.
It's a tremendous story, you know, and there's a lot of those stories, unfortunately, that turn out the other way.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, tons of them. You know, from age 6 to 36, right? 30 years of playing football. It's a lot, but it was his passion, and it certainly has set him up, and his daughter was there, just the cutest little thing in the world, stealing the show, and all his family. It was a special day and a special celebration for a very, very special person. And he will never be forgotten. He'll be in the Ring of Honor. You know, when he said that, somebody asked him about that, and he looked at the Glazers and said, I would love to be in the Ring of Honor. Of course, that is an absolute no-brainer. I mean, come on, that's an absolute no-brainer. And I asked him about the Hall of Fame. And you should clip that because I gave him the old JP Peterson Fan Street Sports Tampa Bay, getting some notoriety there. And I asked him about the Hall of Fame and how, you know, how important in the process and all that, because he's watched Rondé go through it and some others of his contemporaries. And it's, you know, we've said this, it's going to be hit and miss. Like, well, for us, it's a no-brainer. The numbers, and I'll go through them here in a second, are, you know, it's a no-brainer once you see the numbers. It was the same thing with Rondé. They're very, very similar situations because, you know, once Ira gets in the room and starts comparing him against Urlacher and against Luke Kuechly and against these guys that are considered the greatest to ever do it, and Ray Lewis, he's either got way better numbers or certainly comparable numbers. So the numbers stand for themselves. The only thing holding him back was his lack of notoriety. And obviously he wasn't a boastful player, didn't make a lot of news because he wasn't doing any bad things or saying any stupid things, because that's what makes news these days. When you just do your freaking job really well, nobody takes notice, especially when you're in Tampa Bay. Now, when Brady came along, that changed. And we started, well, look at this guy over here. Look at his numbers. And that's going to be the process through the Hall of Fame. And once they look at it and they're like, well, of course, he was one of the best of his time. And for 14 years, and the accumulation of not just accumulations. And one of the things I didn't mention that are played out in the numbers, they're game-winning plays, turnovers, huge turnovers. We saw it in Seattle. We saw it in the last game of the season when there was and even Joel Glazer talked about that. He said, every time there was a big moment in the game where a defensive play needed to be made and the ball came loose, you knew either Lavonte caused it or he was going to recover it. And that's a special, special talent. Interceptions and turnovers. This is maybe one of my favorite is only 2 players in the history of the NFL since tackles began being tracked in 1994 have 1,500 plus tackles, 40 plus sacks, and 10 plus interceptions. Lavonte David and Ray Lewis, considered the greatest to ever do it, as an inside linebacker. And like when you start talking about what's your job, make impact plays and make the every down play. That's such an important play for the linebacker. Every run, if you keep it to 2 yards or less, that's a huge win. you set the stage for your team winning. If the other team can't run the football, that's advantage defense, big time. Now you force them to become one-dimensional, and thus lead to win after win after win. That's what Lavonte David did when he finally got some good players around him. So, yeah, only 3 All-Pro selections, first team in 2013, second team in 2016 and 2020. And that's the number that's going to hold him back. But, you also look at the contemporaries that were getting the All-Pro nods, the Luke Kuechly's, and his numbers are considerably better. 4 players in the NFL have 40-plus sacks, 30-plus forced fumbles, and 10-plus interceptions. Lavonte David, Julius Peppers, Mo Lewis, and Greg Lloyd. Some of the greatest to do it. 12 years as a Bucs captain. 21 career fumble recoveries, most in Bucs history. 33 forced fumbles, most in Bucs history. 215 games plays, all starts with the Bucs. 714 career tackles, tied with Derek Brooks for the franchise record. This is the number the Bucs recognize. Some stats differ. Some have him at 17-17, which is a little bit better, but whatever. You want to stand beside Derek Brooks, stand beside Derek Brooks. So
here, I put
obviously
this together. If we want to show this, it'll help with the stats a little bit.
Please.
Let me get it up here for us. Hopefully we can read this. It's not too small. Here are Lavonte David, and I used modern linebackers, obviously, to compare, numbers for numbers. Ray Lewis, Derek Brooks, Brian Urlacher, and Junior Seau. And I put him with all. Let's see if we can make it.
All those Hall of Famers, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, just looking at it, the numbers are there.
Yeah.
The question is,
leader in sacks except Junior, who played forever, 268 games.
Also not just for one team.
Yeah. Interceptions are a little down.
Look at the forced fumbles. Look at the
forced
fumble
fumbles
recoveries.
way more. Yeah. Look at the fumble recoveries. Wow. Look at that. Ray Lewis never recovered a fumble.
How you like that? Get him out of the Hall of Fame. What's he ever done?
Yeah. Look at that number. And the tackles for loss, which you don't have on here, is 178. And I think, these other guys are in the 70s. That's a big number. And those are big plays. Those are drive killers. Yeah. Let's get to some of the comments as far as Lavonte goes. Let's see. This is kind of a bust, but it's true in terms of losing Mike and Lavonte. The Bucs have lost their heart and soul of the team, and now feels like a decaying corpse wanting to be put out of its misery. Sorry, Devin. That wasn't me. That was some other Bucs fan. What else we got here? Devin says, you guys are always spot on about the Bucs, but I'm not ready to face the music. Just want to appreciate Lavonte. You totally get it. This one from Buckin 220, 4 Bucs legends gone in one offseason. Mike, Lavonte, Gene Deckerhoff, and Tom Moore. Yeah. Forgot about the other two. Yeah. What else we got here? Aviation says Lavonte and Mike were absolutely the leaders on this team, but at the end of their tenure, Mike couldn't suit up and Lavonte couldn't tackle or cover. I don't think Lavonte was that bad last year. I know it wasn't good, but it wasn't that bad. I don't feel like he's going out just, wrecked. I thought it was an average season, and that's just not normal for him. Rick says after Lavonte dived for the football in practice, Todd Bowles yelled at him, "Hey, we don't practice like that around here. Go get some milk and cookies and calm down." Rick, you're awful. Stop it. This is interesting. Wish Mike could have showed up for LVD. That's babe. I'm sure he had something pre-planned or something really. Because remember, this kind of
other coast right now.
Yeah, and this kind of came out of nowhere too. The Bucs put out this press release yesterday, the day of. So, and I'm not sure many people saw it coming today. So, yeah. Alex Nunn says, I know David said he's ready for a break, but you got to bring him back as some coach or a piece to this defense. Tampa Bay loves you, 54. I agree with this. And, he said yesterday he didn't know what he wanted to do, but he wanted to stay in football. He doesn't strike me as a broadcaster, just because he strikes me as a coach or a GM type. He knows this game so well, and he needs to pass on this knowledge. And he's just, I don't, and I say this in the most appreciative way. He's not a poser at all. He's not that all broadcasters are posers, but a lot of them have that, kind of, I want to be on TV thing. And he don't want to be on TV. He don't need that. He's never wanted to be in the limelight. So I don't see that as a natural fit for him. For some guys, it's very natural. And I'm not saying this in a bad way at all. I mean, there are great broadcasters out there, that do a really, really good job, but he just doesn't strike me as that guy. He strikes me more as a more very serious football guy. And I think he's got a lot to give as a coach. And I think it just seems like that's a better fit for him. And he wants to stay around the game. And I think he'd be really, really good at it because, there's a certain gravitas that comes with being a Hall of Famer, and which I think he is. And guys listen better. There's some great coaches out there, but when a guy like Lavonte David, and typically great players are not great coaches, I just get a sense that this would be a really good fit for him. I really do. Because he just, I don't know. It's just the vibe I get. I think guys respect him so much. He's so full of knowledge, and I really feel like he can teach things. I really it seems like a really good fit, and the Bucs would be stupid not to tap into that. I mean, they can. I don't know I don't know who the exact linebackers coach is right now, coaching inside linebackers, but whoever it is, move over. This guy, I would
get your resume ready.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And that it would help for leadership around his team too. Aviation says for many years, 54 and 13 were the only thing that made me look forward to Sundays, new times in Tampa. Yeah. And I don't mean this in a pejorative way, but it's true. It is the end of an era. It really feels like, okay, we're starting over.
Yeah, but there's still likable guys on this team that you can.
Yeah, there are.
Baker.
Yeah. I mean, that's Tristan. Yeah.
Tristan. A lot of
There's
guys.
There's still a lot of talent on this team, which is why it's so dumbfounding that they're
Godwin
picking up the Panthers scraps here as the other teams are going for it. And this team is like, let's go sign the guys that nobody else wants on 1 year, $3.5 million deals. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Mr. Roseboom or Mr. Anzalone. They're great guys. They try hard. They're try hard kind of guys, but they're not difference makers. And I don't think Anzalone is at this time of his career. He was for a long time. He may have another year or two in him, but it's certainly not a long-term play to be competitive again. It feels like a bunch of stopgap stuff. And not, and let's be honest, keeping Todd Bowles, a 500 coach, doesn't scream urgency to me. I don't know about you guys, as much as we love him. Bella Bell says, Mike Evans, I like you even less now. Shaking my head, your name is becoming like Voldemort in my house, but they need Lavonte's Ring of Honor ceremony to be the best yet. I don't have any disdain for Mike Bell. I'm sorry, I just don't. I'm not going to, the fact he wasn't there yesterday, I'm sure he had a very good reason not to be there. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's a really good one.
Maybe they just hate each other.
Maybe he didn't want to be in the building,
Yeah, maybe
everybody else, something soured with Mike. I mean, we all know that. That's kind of out there. Something happened, and and I'm sure he and Lavonte will get together and do their thing. He didn't have to do it at the press conference. So, yeah. It's a good one from Nathan Elliott.
I was thinking about this just real quick. The way we're talking about Anzalone and Roseboom, the way you're disrespecting them so much.
I am.
And I say that a little tongue in cheek, obviously.
I feel bad. I'm sure they're wonderful dudes.
Let's look at it this way. All right. Let's twist it. The Bucs just stole the Panthers' leading tackler from last year. And they stole Detroit's second leading tackler from last year. That's how we twist this. All right. There you go. Carry on.
They call that spin. Spin. teams were lining up to get that leading tackler from the Panthers, weren't they?
We don't
They were
know.
lining up.
We don't know.
I do know. 1 year, $3.5 million. That's how I know.
I mean, they outbid them, maybe.
How?
I'm just saying. The Cowboys need linebackers, too.
Nathan Elliott says Dick Butkus, Junior Seau, Brian Urlacher, and Derek Thomas all never won a Super Bowl. Lavonte won a Super Bowl, first ballot.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but I understand your point. Also, how about the luck of Junior Seau, who loses the Super Bowl early in his years in San Diego? Then he goes and plays for the Patriots for, 4 seasons and doesn't win a Super Bowl with the Patriots. He loses 2 of them. The 2 losses to the Giants, he was on those teams.
Wow, that's
great. And he never gets his Super Bowl. And the very next season after he left, the Patriots win one.
Yeah.
Just the luck.
By the way, and what a incredible human Junior Seau was.
Yeah.
But also, the cost of playing that position, and Lavonte
could have cost him his life.
Yeah, it did. And Lavonte is walking away with, very healthy and being able to spend time with his daughter. So that's a big thing. And it's probably a huge part of why he's doing it now, and super smart. Buck 2020 says, I don't think it's crazy to say he's the most underrated defensive player of all time. Nope, that is not crazy at all. Not with those numbers. Absolutely. I agree. Bella says, hey, what's up, King? Look, I do still love the times me and Mike Evans had, but it's kind of like, wow, it was something we need to know, Bell?
Wow.
When I saw Lavonte yesterday, you felt his heart, it was just made me mad at him again. I get it. Don't be mad at Mike. Come on. Don't be mad at Mike.
Yeah, don't blame Mike for any of this. He made a business decision.
Yeah. I ain't, and the Bucs make plenty of business decisions. So, Nathan says Lavonte may return to Liberty City and will begin to work with the youth. If not Liberty City, who will begin coaching somewhere. That's a great thing. Yeah. Like Teddy Bridgewater, go back there and make an impact in that community. That's, you know what? I think you're spot on there, Nathan. That seems like a really good spot for him. Boy, the good he could do there. Man, talk about saving lives, man. Talking about saving real lives with the work that he could do there. And that seems like a perfect fit for him. I would highly recommend that. And it would be something that he would be passionate about. There is no longer a player on the roster that was teammates with a member of the 2002 Super Bowl team. That's right, because he played with Rondé, right? No reaching back to that level. Not sure what that means, but is what it is. Interesting fact. All right. And Devin says, how about the TBT allowing Will Weatherford to write and publish an opinion article? It's about freaking time. It's so funny. I saw the headline and I'm like, oh, God, I can't wait to see this. Who wrote this? Another John Romano, or what the hell the other guy's name is. John Hill, pearl clutching, hate the new stadium, don't want it in Tampa article. And much to my surprise, it was Will Weatherford's finely penned article and column, and I'm going to read every word of it coming up in this show. So stay tuned for that.
Can you read it like an audiobook? Can we just go to audiobook mode?
I could do that.
Like absolutely.
Welcome to Audible.
Your subscription
yes, we will do that. Yeah. Pay up, jerk. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll do a little Rays stuff and some Lightning stuff. Coach Charlie Strong is going to be in here at 11 o'clock. We'll talk a little bit more Lavonte David. Obviously, he coached with the Buccaneers last year. We'll have lots to say about Lavonte and ask him to do a little homework on this Rose Boom character and Anzalone to see what the Bucs got in this new linebacker duo. Hey, we're brought to you by the great folks at Pitch Roofing. They will educate you on your roof, all for free. Just give them a call, pitchroofing.com, and they will come out, take a look at your roof, tell you how much life you got left, if you need some repairs. And here's the thing, you can trust them. Unlike the dude that just showed up at your house and knocked on your door, and you're like, who the hell are you? And said, I can fix your roof, and your insurance company's going to pay for all of it. probably don't want to deal with that dude. Anybody who knocks on your door. If they come uninvited, there's a reason for it. So call the great folks at Pitch Roofing. They will be glad to educate you. Just really good folks. Again, honest work. And they'll love working with your insurance company. Your insurance company will love working with them. So give them a call at Pitch Roofing. Go to the website, pitchroofing.com. Read all the 5-star Google reviews and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3. Stay with us. Here for Pitch Roofing, one of our new sponsors and the most reliable and honest roofers in the business. They love the Lightning, and Bolts fans be entered to win a pair of premium Mark Club seats with every free roofing estimate from Pitch Roofing. Seats include food and beverages, early access, premium entry, and a backstage tour of Lightning Vision with yours truly. Always get 2 to 3 estimates when replacing your roof, and be sure to include Pitch as one of those roofing companies. With a free estimate from Pitch, they're not trying to hard sell you. They educate you on your roof and the process. Even if you do not choose Pitch Roofing as your roofer, they want to leave you feeling informed, knowing the different materials and manufacturers, and understanding the process and warranties. Very, very important. Pitch is an Owens Corning preferred contract, Better Business Bureau accredited, and My Safe Florida Home approved. That's very important as well. Pitch prides themselves on full transparency and customer first level of service. They also offer financing options, including 0% plans, ensuring a stress-free experience. Call my friends at Pitch Roofing, 727-67-PITCH. That's 727-677-4824, or go to pitchroofing.com.
Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucks play. We'll see you there. Hey, the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler, so don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. At the Golden Diamond Source, they can design anything you want personally. The Golden Diamond Source can help you trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase as well. And with gold prices at record high, now is the best time to do it. They only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source, so if it's a real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Bad idea. And with the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program, you can learn all about the 4 C's in all the different shapes and styles. And they are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com.
It's a love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Hey, lots going on at Genesis of Tampa, selling amazing vehicles and doing great things in the community. And March is Gray Bull Rescue Military Appreciation Month. A portion of all vehicle purchases go towards a donation to Gray Bull Rescue, who recently saved dozens of Americans from the cartel violence in Mexico. A great organization. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Wear green, buy green, save green. Wear green to Genesis of Tampa on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, for $500 off any vehicle in stock. Buy anything green that's green in color, cars, SUVs, you get $1,000 off. Also, buy a vehicle between March 14th and 17th, and you'll be entered to win a trip to Ireland on us. How about that? Of course, Genesis vehicles are the best in class for value, technology, luxury. And there's a National Genesis Signature event going on currently to get 1.9% financing. Limitations apply. Whether it's the G70, G80, 90 sedans, or the incredible SUV lineup, take a test drive and see what everyone is talking about. It's special. Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue. Tell them JP sent you.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. And speaking of the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source, check this out. It's $1,000 gift card match madness coming up today, March 25th through the 27th. Purchase a Gold and Diamond Source gift card up to $1,000. And they'll match it, giving you $2,000 in spending power. Are you kidding me? That's right. The 25th through the 27th, Match Madness in March. How about that? Up to $1,000, and they'll match it up to $2,000 in spending power. So remember, if you just have $100, come on in, get a gift card match of $200, $500, whatever, all the way up to $1,000 to get $2,000. You don't have to do the big money thing. You can do the smaller money thing and get double your money at the Gold and Diamond Source. This is a really, really good deal, and it's only today through the 27th. So the rest of the week, get in there, tell them JP sent you, and of course, you know, diamonds never lose their value with the Gold and Diamond Source. You buy them, you bring them back 10 years later, and you will get in return, if you want to upgrade, exactly what you paid for. That is an amazing, amazing deal. Great investment. They have 0% financing up to 5 years. That's pretty cool. And, of course, it's real love. Make sure it's a real diamond. Do not go buy a fake diamond. That is a really, really bad idea. She's going to find out. She's going to find out, and then you're really in hot water. So go get a natural diamond that takes 1 billion years to make. That's important. Gold and Diamond Source. Let's get to it.
So, JP, I've found I wish I'd have known about the Gold and Diamond Source back in the day.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah.
Because you know what? You can buy, if you do this right and you're young enough, you can buy one diamond, one wedding ring, engagement ring, whatever. Do it right the first time. And then every subsequent wedding ring or engagement ring for your multiple wives that you're going to have throughout your life, you can just go and trade it in and get something better and bigger and newer for the new girl.
That's right.
And then y'all break up, you just take it back, you get something better, bigger, and then you dump that chick, and then you could just keep upgrading every time until you're in your 50s and you finally meet the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Because you can just keep trading them in and getting bigger and better, right?
That's a great concept.
Yeah.
It's a great concept. The only flaw in that is good luck getting it back, dog.
I have my ways. I've always gotten them back.
It's a great concept.
Every single time I've gotten them.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
And one of them, for one of the wives, we won't name which number, the wedding ring was her grandmother's wedding ring, and I still made her give it to me. How about that?
Wow, she wanted out. Wow, she really wanted out.
Let's just say she had no choice.
I want to hear that story, but not now. Wow, that is, you have your ways. You're like Liam Neeson. You have special talents.
I have a very specific set of skills.
Very specific set of skills. You get rings back.
I'm the divorced man.
Maybe it might involve some Rohypnol or something. Might. Yeah. But damn, even when they're knocked out, it's hard to slip that thing off sometimes. Give me
an elephant dart to the jugular.
Just kidding, folks. This is for entertainment purposes only. Does not really happen. Good God. All right. Should we go Lightning or Will Weatherford? Where do we want to go here?
Well, we're on with the Will Weatherford thing. Let's go there because I want to hear an audiobook.
All right. Well, before we do that, let me just do a quick lightning bit here.
Okay.
Great game last night. Great atmosphere last night. And listen, to me, this was, I think I said this yesterday, it looked like a scheduled loss. You know, they were here for a day or two, just waiting on the Lightning to get back out west. And they had a late game against Calgary, back-to-back Saturday, Sunday out west, 4 games out west, 8 days. And then they coach got 7 of 8 on the road trip. Fantastic. So you're doing well. So human nature, take your foot off the gas pedal a little bit, right? We just had a great road trip. Always the first game back is an even tougher when you have to travel all day Monday, and it was a long travel day. They had terrible travel out of Edmonton to Calgary, got in at 2:30 in the morning there. So these guys are just absolutely exhausted. And now you got to play against one of the best teams in the West, and the Minnesota Wild, who kicked your ass a few weeks ago up in Minnesota, a really, really good team. And as I said yesterday, the Lightning have not beaten a good team since the break. And they beat the Maple Leafs twice. Even Edmonton, who's the only one that's really in the playoff hunt that they've played and beaten, they were without Draisaitl and not at their best. So on to see them beat a good team. And I didn't think last night was going to be it. And they go down 3-1 in this game. A couple of bad breaks, a couple goals go off of Lightning players. So Vasi was playing well. And the Lightning, the first 10 minutes were just dreadful, absolutely dreadful. So they dig a hole, and then they come back, Gensel, with a big goal from the seat of his pants. When you get knocked down, you know what you do? You shoot the puck. That's what you
shoot
do.
Anyway. Yeah.
You shoot anyway. And he scores on that one to make it 3-2. And Cooper said that was a huge goal just to get that next goal. And then I believe it's Radish with his 20th goal. By the way, that was Gensel's 300th. Radish's goal is number 20. Okay, for a guy that was in and out of the lineup and scratched in the first month, ties the Lightning defenseman record for goals in a season with 20, with 12 games to play, with Hedman and Dan Boyle. What an accomplishment. What an accomplishment. So he scores, and then they score to go 4-3. But the Lightning challenge goalie interference, which the Lightning never win, and they won it. They won that one. It's a big one off the board. Radish gets clearly cross-checked into Vasilevsky, who can't make the save. It's the right call, but we still get screwed on that all the time. And then the Lightning go on and score the go-ahead goal. Trying to remember who it was, but they get, 5 unanswered, basically, score a couple empty netters, and that's a huge win. That's a huge win over a really, really good Minnesota team with Quinn Hughes, and that whole group is they're going to go deep into the playoffs. So this, to me, was a gritty-ass win last night. Chernak got the game winner. How could I forget that one? Where he breaks the glass of the camera, and you see the glass shatter, and you also see the ref go like this behind no goal. No goal. Like, what the hell are you looking at, bro? I mean, Chernak's celebrating. They're still playing, going down the ice on a 3-on-1 because the Lightning players are celebrating an obvious goal. I think maybe it was a Kelly Sutherland. I don't know who it was, but whoever was freaking blind as a bat, he hit the back of the net. What didn't hit the net? It hit the camera, and it bounces out. Yeah. Like, what else did it hit? It went right into the middle of the net, and it's not up high. It's down low. It's like, what are you freaking looking at, bro? And, so anyway, Chernak scores the game winner. And that was a great hustle play because Gustafsson played a puck off the boards, and he just misplays it. But that's a time where, Chernak could obviously have circled back, but he kept driving to the net, forcing him to play the puck, and he misplayed it. He probably looked up and said, oh, shit, here comes Chernak, and then misplays it, and he puts it in the back. So great hustle play by Chernak, huge goal, and the Lightning get a huge win. I mean, as of yesterday, they were, 5 points out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And even though they were in second place. So this gives them a little bit more breathing room. I think they're 8 points now. A little bit more breathing room. And now they've got 7 games, including last night's game at home, 7 games in 12 days at home. So great win by the Lightning last night. I thought it was one of their better wins and a gritty win.
Yeah, and look, this team had, like we talked about it yesterday with Brian, this team had every reason to kind of lay down and be flat in this game. That is a massive road trip all the way on the other coast, and not just on the other coast, but north into Canada on the other coast. Don't minimize that travel fatigue. I don't care where it's to and where it's from. That is a long flight and readjusting back to where you are. And to be to be tied after 2, I thought was already a miracle, right? And then in the third, you have every excuse to be tired and to kind of lay down because you're tired and still travel fatigued. But no, you don't lay down. You just dominate with 3 goals in the third. And Minnesota had no chance in the third. There was going to be no comeback. There was going to be no force to be reckoned with, like Minnesota likes to think they are on offense late in games. Yeah. This was one of the gutsiest performances I've seen from this Lightning team in a while. And credit John Cooper for keeping his guys up and for these guys for having that in them. Reference this game in the playoffs when they, again, you're going to run into some of the same stuff, and to me, this was a big one mentally, if nothing else, for these guys to know that they can do that.
And as noted, Victor Hedman did not play last night. Mm-hmm. And doing the post-game show last night, Brian Engblom's really good about, obviously 3-time Stanley Cup champion, one of the great defensemen of his time. And he talked about the defensive pairs all the time. And with Hedman out, they really pair up well. And that's a different team. And Victor's just struggling with something that's chronic right now. And we don't know what it is. He had a groin injury. I think it may be somewhat related to that, but a groin injury and an upper body. He's got a lower body and an upper body, and it's not him. You can just see it out there on the ice. It's just not him. And I don't know if they're going to shut him down or what, but until he's ready to play, he doesn't need to play. This team is just better without him. And this is about 50% Hedman. It's nothing and nothing, he's got 4 years left on his deal. He when he gets back healthy, he'll be fine. He's not healthy right now. He's just not. And I know he's probably trying to fight through everything as the captain, but the better part of valor here is let these guys handle it. They're playing well and they're playing well together. Support them as best you can. It's just not your time right now. And I think that's pretty obvious, and that's a noble thing to do as the captain.
He didn't play in Calgary either, did he? He missed that game.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So it's that's a discussion for another time until we find out more, but I think that's probably where this is headed. All right, let me transfer over to this. A lot of people are talking about this. John Hill wrote that stupid 3 Clouds column last week, which was just absolutely ridiculous. So Will Weatherford, former Speaker of the House, one of the limited partners in the new Rays deal, guy who got the stadium done on the USF campus, a real leader in this community, a super talented guy, super smart guy, and a visionary. Perfect man to write this. So I'm just going to read it. He said, Times columnist John Hill is right about one thing. Projects of this scale require the stars to align. What he misses is that for perhaps the first time in a generation, they finally are. As someone who has spent a lifetime in Tampa Bay, served as Speaker of the Florida House, chaired the University of South Florida, and invested alongside the Rays' new ownership led by Patrick Zalewski, Bill Cosgrove, and Ken Babby, I see this moment not as one clouded by uncertainty, but as a rare opportunity we cannot afford to miss. I emphasize. For decades, the question of the Rays' future has lingered over our region. Plans have come and gone. Momentum has stalled. Confidence has wavered. That cycle, more than anything, is what has held Tampa Bay back. And a dude named Stu Sternberg. He doesn't want to say it. I will. Today is different. We have an ownership group with both the vision and the commitment to deliver, not just a new ballpark, but a transformational mixed-use district that can create jobs, expand opportunity, and enhance the quality of life across our community. That vision is rooted here. It is shared by partners who believe in Tampa Bay and are invested in its future, unlike Stu Sternberg. My addition. Anything I say about Stu here is that's me. That deserves serious consideration, not reflexive skepticism. I love that line. Critics point to election cycles, economic uncertainty, and political headwinds as reasons to slow down. But if the last 20 years have taught us anything, it's that delay doesn't make projects like this easier. It makes them more expensive, more complicated, and more likely to fall apart. Construction costs don't decline, and uncertainty only compounds. Another great paragraph. We cannot allow the search for a perfect political moment to become an excuse for inaction. The moment rarely comes. Oh, this is so spot on. Urgency reflects opportunity is the subheadline. The timeline before us is not about rushing. It's about finally moving forward with purpose after years of stagnation. The Rays, under the leadership of Ken Babby and alongside partners like Patrick Zalewski and Bill Cosgrove, have engaged meaningfully with stakeholders across the region. Local governments, Hillsborough County, the city of Tampa, Hillsborough College, business leaders, labor groups, and more importantly, the community itself. That engagement is ongoing and it will continue. I'll depart here and give my little 2 cents here. This is something the previous ownership group has never done, and they never trusted them, these entities he just mentioned, and rightfully so. This is completely different. And I think people's mindset is still stuck in the old way. We don't trust them, not going to happen. Get that out of your head. This is a new group and a completely new relationship with what's going on with the local leaders. And I'll say this. I know there's a lot of uncertainty now, and there are a lot of questions out there. As I told you, this is just part of the process. It's how the sausage is made. So don't get burnt out or cold feet and start thinking negatively because it's not perfect. You know, every question is not answered yet. It will be in good time. All right, he continues. But diligence should not be mistaken for delay. We can be thoughtful and decisive at the same time. We've seen what happens when Tampa Bay does that well. The USF Medical School and the Water Street development didn't come together because every uncertainty was eliminated. They succeeded because leaders aligned around a bold vision and acted. Today, the district stands as a model for how public-private partnerships can elevate the entire region. And again, my aside, Bob Buckhorn told us about the $100 million that he had to pull out of the county and the city for the Water Street project. It has returned $1.2 billion to the taxpayers in just, 13 years? What more do you need to see in terms of an example of how investing, giving money to billionaires, brings you money back? He continues. This project has the same potential. Subheadline, local commitment. Perhaps the most misplaced criticism is the idea that this ownership group is somehow disconnected from Tampa Bay. This simply isn't true. Patrick Zalewski, Bill Cosgrove, Ken Babby, and many of the investors involved, including myself, says Will Weatherford, are deeply committed to this community. We are not outsiders. We live here, work here, and care deeply about the future of this region. This is not a parachute-in effort. It is a long-term commitment to solving a challenge that has lingered for far too long. It is a commitment that will enhance our standing as one of the world's top sports and leisure destinations, a designation made possible over the years by first-class organizations like the Buccaneers, the Lightning, and the Yankees. It's a commitment to ensure that Tampa Bay will be an obvious choice to host a World Baseball Classic and reinforce to a global community all that we have to offer. And that commitment is reflected in the continued outreach, listening sessions, conversations with local leaders, and engagement with neighborhoods that will be part of this project's future. That work matters, and it's ongoing. The generational decision, subheadline. There will be important questions to answer. There should be. Any major public-private partnership deserves transparency and thoughtful debate once the details are finalized. But we cannot lose sight of what is truly at stake. This is about more than a stadium. It is about whether Tampa Bay is willing to take the next step forward as a major league city, not just in sports, but in vision, execution, and ambition. We have seen positive impact throughout our community when we seize opportunities like this in Tampa Bay, and we have experienced the frustration of letting them pass us by. This is an exceptional opportunity. We have united leadership, committed ownership, and real momentum, all in a community we love and believe in. The stars are indeed aligned. The question is whether we will seize this moment or allow it to become another chapter in a long story of missed opportunity. I am confident Tampa Bay this time will not allow that to happen. Very well written and well said. That is That is what it's at stake. And I texted with Ken Bagby this morning to get Will Weatherford on the show. He said we'll make that happen, and we can reiterate a lot of the great points that he's just made. So, I mean, you line this column up with the pearl clutching of John Hill and the John Romano's columns and all this negativity that's come out of the TBT. And all of it is a lot of, we can do this, and we can't do this, and we can't do that, and we can't do that. Yeah, we can. And the biggest thing that is different than the Tropicana Field site is that site is ready for development and ripe for development. Everybody wants it, and they're knocking down the door to get it. Drew Park has not had anything done in 20 years of being a CRA. Ain't nobody building anything there or providing any tax money. Hillsborough College is not getting rebuilt unless the Rays come in and provide something that's going to provide the money that the state can then turn around and rebuild Hillsborough College. There is no value to that land unless you put a baseball stadium on it. I mean, you can get into the minutia. Oh, yes, there is. Not to this scale. Not to this scale. You want a new Hillsborough College? This is the only way to get it done. If not, you're going to struggle for decades to rebuild that place. That's why Dr. Atwater is doing cartwheels over this deal, the head of Hillsborough College. So don't get it twisted. This is an enormous opportunity for us. And to let it go by because it's not perfect political climate or everything isn't perfect and we can't show you right now with 100% certainty that every penny is going to come back to the taxpayers. I mean, you'd be an idiot to not see it. It's plain as day. But I know a lot of people want to, and the negativity surrounding this is just, again, you compare the negativity with this type of visionary writing and perspective. And if you want to be that person that clutches his pearls and, well, it's not fair to the other investors around here that you're not bringing a baseball team and keeping our baseball team and bringing hundreds of events a year and 12,000 jobs and $6 billion of economic impact. Okay, it's not 6. I'll take 4. 3. You're still tripling your money. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We're going to hit some football here as well. The coach is in the house. Charlie Strong is here. I gave him an assignment today to tell me how good these linebackers are. All right, you got something to work with here, Coach? We got something to work with. All right, we got something to work with. We're going to talk about Lavonte David as well. Quick break. Back with Coach Charlie Strong next. Stay with us. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salsicce salsiccia, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. If you are, you get one of those bills, your homeowner's insurance, you're like, holy hell, this has gone up a lot. They'll do that from time to time. Make sure you're shopping around. Call the folks at Italiano Insurance. You don't have to do any work. They do all the work. You save all the money. 813-877-7799. Sometimes they can't get you a better deal. A lot of times they can. But again, it's a free call, and it ain't going to cost you anything. It's going to save you money. You can do that with your auto insurance. If you need some life insurance help, they can give you with that as well. Make sure you got your flood insurance and your business insurance. Even if you have a small business on the side, you could get sued and they can take your personal wealth. So get your business insurance. It's not that expensive, but you got to make sure you have it. You can do it all at ItalianoInsurance.com or 813-877-7799. All right, the coach is here. Charlie Strong, the former USF coach. We were just reminiscing about that. Texas, Louisville, longtime Gator assistant, national champion. Coach, you've recruited Lavonte David and many players from Northwestern, and his story is amazing to come. Talk about the challenge of coming out of Liberty City and Northwestern in that area and becoming, in my mind, a Hall of Fame NFL player.
It is a challenge.
Oh, sorry, Coach. There we go.
I'm sorry, Jay. It is a challenge, but every player that you really get out of that high school, they all go off to college and they develop and become really be good football players, and then some are able to go to the NFL. But you look at Lavonte, look at his career and what he's done. Leave Liberty City, go to Northwestern High School.
Yeah.
So he's at Northwestern.
Get a little closer to that, Mike.
He's at Northwestern, and Sean, God, his teammate. He had a teammate that went to Miami. So he goes to junior college to Nebraska. Then Sean goes to Miami, and both of them weren't very big coming out.
Yeah.
Like you want like bigger linebackers. They weren't, but they were so athletic, and they were a group, a set of guys that you knew that they had a toughness factor about them. They loved the game.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't surprise me to see the career that Lavonte has had. But you look at Teddy came out of there. There's so many good players that came out of there. And it just, every year you go there recruiting, you know that you were going to get a good football player. Heck, half of my team at Louisville, they came from Northwestern High School. You know?
That's a good place to recruit. But can you give us a kind of an idea, like when you're talking about, he talked a lot about his parents and how key it is to have great parents down there because of the gangs and the whole situation, to keep them out of that the whole time. I mean, because these kids become kind of superstars, and the optimist. I mean, we've seen what that's like, parents betting on those games and stuff. It's kind of a crazy situation, and you need parents that are going to protect you, right?
Well, the good thing about him, like you said, he had solid parents.
Yes.
And so when you go in to recruit those young men, a lot of them, they don't have that father figure. You know, they have that mom. And so you're going to go in and recruit the mom and the grandmother.
Yeah.
And the father sometimes is not in the picture. So they kind of develop that trust in you.
Yeah.
So they're looking for someone who they can really trust, and there's someone going to show them love and that passion. And he had a set of parents that was, there for him from through, like you said. When you go there, you're gonna be. There's all kind of the Optimist Club. There's guys trying to pull you.
Yeah.
Hey, come and play for me. I'm over here, at Central. Or come and play for me. I'm here at Jackson. So those guys are all trying to pull you. But once those parents get involved, and that's what you want. You want the parents to get involved, because then they can, they can stop it before it ever gets going.
Yeah. And he was very emotional yesterday about his mom when she passed in 2016. Said he didn't even want to play football anymore, but his passion and his leadership was something that really, I think, drove this defense in the Super Bowl year. And when he finally started getting his due, I know you didn't coach him specifically, you were coaching defensive line, but obviously you saw the leadership that he brought. What could you tell me about that?
Just a selfless leader. He was a guy that he was quiet. He didn't say much. But when he did speak, the guys listened. But he let his work on the field speak for itself. And just the way he was a true professional way he went about it each and every day, and just how his whole preparation and how he was willing to bring young guys along with him.
Yeah. I told a story, his knee, I think he had his knee drained almost every game this year, right?
Oh, he did. And so you come out to practice and he's on the sideline, but he's locked in. Like he's not one of those guys on the sideline just over talking and kidding around. He's out. He's looking at he want to know what the call was, and then he's on the sideline making adjustments where he said, "Okay, this is what's going to happen. This is what we need to do."
And we've seen so many of these situations, it ends poorly. Guys have to be told, you can't play anymore, or you got to cut you, or whatever. It just gets ugly. I think this was about as good as it can get, right? I mean, it was time for him to quit, probably, right?
Well, you look at it, Jay, 14 seasons.
Yeah, at middle linebacker.
At middle linebacker with one organization.
Yeah.
I think only Derek and Rondé is the only two other ones that has done it. But you look at 14 seasons with one organization at middle linebacker. I think he started somewhere in the neighborhood of 215 games.
Yeah.
Over 1,700 tackles. But you think about that and you say, wow. Like, I think I was reading something where I think him and Ray Lewis only two with 1,500 tackles, and it's like they had
40 sacks
and like 10 interceptions, but it's only one or two. So
you and Ray Lewis,
because when you say Ray Lewis, everybody just think, hey, that is
greatest of all time.
He's great, but him and Ray Lewis only two. So how you look at his career and you can just like, wow, like. How was he able just to be consistent year after year, 100+ tackles year after year, the whole preparation, how he poured so much into the game.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. Like, he poured so much into the game.
And Ray was like 6'3", 245, right?
Right.
250.
Right.
Like Lavonte's 6'1", 215, 220.
Yeah. We're probably pushing it at 225, but he wasn't, like you said, Ray was like that true metal big backer that could sit down. But if you look at Lavonte, the thing he could do was he was skilled enough to cover running backs out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was stronger and powerful enough to go on the pressure and then go knock people back.
Yeah.
And that's, you look at it, people are lucky, you say, God, he's not very big, but he doesn't do nothing but make plays. You
Right.
look at the end of the game, and there's 13 tackles, there's 15 tackles,
Yeah, an interception, 2
there's a tackle
fumbles.
for a
Yeah,
loss.
yeah.
There's a forced fumble. All those numbers add up. And the thing he did was, it was amazing for him to have that career.
And 12 years a captain, too. That says your peers, because with the Buccaneers, they vote their captains.
Yes.
And so that's your peers saying every year, yeah, that's the guy.
I mean, you think he was third year, then you become a captain, 12 straight seasons?
Yeah.
And you're right. That's from your peers. That's the respect that they have for you, because they see it, and they see it every day, and they really know who the real guys are. And he was a real guy.
So we talk about a vacuum of leadership now. So in a week and a half, you've lost Mike Evans and Lavonte David. And I talk about special players that I think it's rare in this day and age to have your superstars be guys that really care about winning, like really, really care about winning. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's about football. And those are 2 rare guys, and you've lost both of them. Now, you still got Tristan Wirfs. You still got Baker. You still got Luke Gedeke. You still got a lot of Antoine Winfield Jr. But it's different, right? It's going to be different.
Well, it's different because those are production guys.
Yeah,
they
that
have
too.
Numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at you're losing a Lavonte on defense, and you don't. You're looking at the next guy. Like, who is that? Like, who's going to step up and become the leader now? Like you said, Winfield back there, and Winfield don't mind speaking up, but you got to have guys who are willing to speak up, and their numbers their production is the thing that drives them. And then you look at on offense with Mike. I mean, the same thing. That's production. Like, you're losing production. You're losing guys that were true veterans, but you're losing guys that the leadership ability and the leadership is what's going to be a key. Like, how do you replace those guys, Jay? Like, that's the thing.
And, I think Ibuka is a natural-born leader. We talked about him. Defensively, I don't know where it's going to come from, Listen, Anzalone, and we'll kind of transition into the new linebacker room. Anzalone coming from Detroit, and now Christian Roseboom coming from the Panthers. 1 year, $3.5 million. Obviously, he wasn't highly sought after around the league, but he did lead them in tackles last year, but his PFF grade was 75th out of 88 inside linebackers, a 47.1 grade, whatever you want to say about PFF, but that's not good.
Well,
that's not good.
I think what he had over 100 tackles, so that's what they were looking at, his productivity. And then he won a Super Bowl when he was with L.A. So
that's right.
He was a guy that he has some numbers, and now you get a chance where you're going to place him in there. But you got enough in that linebacker room now, getting Anzalone, because I think that's getting him is that he has the years in the league.
Yeah.
And so
is that good or bad when you got 9 years in it?
Well, I think that what helps them is that at least you got a veteran guy, because you have a veteran guy, a guy who's seen a lot, coming from Detroit. They play pretty good defense.
Yeah.
So
and he'll be able to lead.
He'll be able to lead, and he grew up around here, so he kind of has a feel for the area, and he understands the organ. He hasn't been in the organization, but he's seen it from the outside.
Yeah, he's lived here for 9 years, right? His whole NFL career, yeah. As we mentioned, married to Riley Cooper's sister.
And Riley's from Clearwater.
Yeah.
So he's kind of been around.
Yeah. Do you remember him at Florida? He had a great career at Florida as well.
Oh, Riley?
Yeah.
Riley
not Riley, but Anzalone.
Yeah,
we know
Anzalone
Riley did.
Yeah, Riley. But yes, he came in, and I think Riley's he's married to Riley's sister. She was on the softball team at that time. So I think it's where they met. But yeah, I remember just watching him. And he played, he played a game the way it should be played, no fear at all. Run downhill, take on blockers, tackle the ball. But it's got to be the productivity and the leadership. More than anything from him, it's just got to come with the leadership skill.
Yeah. I mean, I love Anzalone's game. I just think if you're, you got a Devin Lloyd out there who's 27 years old, that's who I thought the Bucs should target. Someone, obviously it's going to cost more money. And, Anzalone's 2 years, $14 million, I believe. He was 3 years, $45 million. So is it a matter of money? I don't know, but it sure looks like it. It just doesn't look like the Bucs want to invest the way the Panthers are. They went out and get Jalen Phillips, probably overpaid him, but I'd rather have a younger guy with upside than an older guy just hanging on and you're hoping to get productivity from.
And that's what you look at the league. Like, you look at all his young talent. and there's so much young talent in the league, and it's just like they're pushing the older talent out because the young guys are the fresher, they got
younger, faster,
legs,
cheaper,
faster, and they're cheaper.
Yeah,
they're cheaper. You're right, but when you look at guys that have been in the league, you just wonder like how many more years, how many more hits on that body can he take?
Right.
How many more steps can he take? And I think that's where Lavonte was smart. He started looking at it as like, I don't know if these wheels can go the way they used to go. Hey, back 6 years ago, these wheels were still turning. I don't know if these wheels are turning like that now.
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at the tape, just even from my vantage point, and you see him showing up just a step too late, and it's like, he makes that play. The 13 years. He makes that play every time.
He makes that play all day long.
And he knows it more than anybody, right? He knows it more than anybody.
And that's where he was smart. And like you said, there's a lot of guys that exit the league and not on their terms, but he did it on his terms. Yeah. And he did it with a great career. And what we didn't mention is he's a Super Bowl champion too.
Yeah, that's right.
He's got a Super Bowl under his belt. So it's a lot of things that he accomplished
in his own stadium.
at the only place he's ever played at. That's what's amazing.
And he'll go into the Ring of Honor. And he was asked yesterday what he's going to do now. And and of course, television broadcasting is there, but he seems like to me be a coach. I think he would be a great coach. And somebody even mentioned going back to Liberty City and Northwestern and working in that area. And I'm like, oof, that seems like a really good fit for him because he could do so much in that local community. I'd love to keep him here now.
Oh, yes. Well, I was just thinking about that. I said, well, you get Teddy and you take Teddy, let him go back to Northwest as the head coach. Then you bring Lavonte. Sean Spence was who I was
Sean Spence, yes.
Sean Spence
I remember, yeah.
And you bring all those guys back to Liberty because the thing about all those guys, and if you ever been there and you grew up there, they love that area. Like they love their high school. Like it's something that's big to them. And
the optimists too.
Oh, the optimists. Yeah. I can remember, Luke Campbell going out there with that Optimist team and he would just, coach, you got to come here on a Saturday. So I go down there one Saturday and it is so many and all of them, he had it set up where he would take them to a Miami football game.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of them throw the U up because they all went to the games growing up. But it was just amazing to just see the number of kids that was running around out there. And then, those are future stars.
Yeah.
Like at some point that young man's going to come and he's going to be the next guy. And they know all of these guys because they grew up watching them, but they talk about it in the Optimist team around their club so that those guys know who they are.
And these the coaches and the lessons that these kids are learning, I mean, it's literally saving lives. They're literally saving lives. Where they can keep them in football and keep them in sports.
As long as you can keep them in sports and you keep them off the streets, then you're changed. Because as a coach, you just look to develop and shape and mold young people's lives. And you just knowing this, how can I be an impact? What do I need to do to get this young man on the right path?
Yeah.
And I can remember when I went in there recruiting and we, one of the best football players I ever had was from down there, and his name was Darren Mickle. And, and Mick played for us at Florida. We beat Florida State 14-9, I think, and he single-handedly just shut down the whole right side.
Killed Casey Weldon.
Killed Casey. They killed Casey. But it was like, guys like that grow up there and then they're able to get out of that environment and then they can give back because they end up going and you end up shaping them and molding them so they will go back and be a positive influence or positive impact on the community.
We always talk about, we need dogs. There's just a certain type of player that is different. And I just think guys that come up through Liberty City and places like that, they're different. Their toughness level is just different, right?
Well,
you would know better than anybody.
You get guys like that, and you got to know who they are, and you know what because it was so funny because when I was recruiting Teddy's mom told me because Teddy had committed to Miami, so Randy Shannon was the head coach, so they fired Randy, so now he commits to LSU, and so I tell Teddy. They sent a receiver coach to see him. I said, Teddy, they're going to move you to a receiver. Why would a receiver coach come and see you? So why would they send him? Why would, if you're that important, they're gonna send a quarterback coach.
That's right.
And I said, okay. So the mom at that time, she's like, Coach, if you just take care of him, I will let him come to Louisville. I said, hey, I would take care of him. And Clint Hurt was recruiting him, and Clint did an unbelievable job with him. But we ended up getting Teddy. But it was just the trust factor is big with those kids.
Yeah.
Because they grow up and they don't have nobody around them they really trust.
It's the coaches.
So, yeah, but the coaches, that's it. So now when you develop a good relationship, and so that's why we were able at Louisville to go there to Northwestern, to Liberty City, down in Miami, and get a lot of those players because of the trust factor. And then once you got them on campus, then it was, like I had a guy, Michael Lee Harris, he coaches right now. He's a coach right now at Furman. But he does a good job. So you have a bunch of players that come out of that area that do a really good job.
Yeah, Florida State needs to get some more of those players.
Oh, you think about when Florida State was good?
Yeah.
You think when Chuck Amato used to go down there?
He did.
Chuck
Coach Chest.
used to go down there. Chest.
Coach
Chest used to go down there, and he would get them all. It was like a pipeline to my, and then that's when Florida State was
good.
They were really good.
Yeah, now we take kids from California. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. I want the Liberty City kids.
Kid.
Hell yeah, Marvin Jones.
I want that neighborhood. Yes.
Did Marvin Jones play at Northwestern?
Oh yes,
that's a bad man. Holy shit.
Yes, Marvin's a Northwestern guy. Yes.
Yeah.
When you think about it, Florida State won the championship coming out of there.
They recruited Miami great.
Chess went down there, and Chess got them all. Like Chess,
people don't know what you're talking about. So Coach Amato was just he had this big chest. He was like he called Coach Chess. Yeah. And then when he talked, he talked like this. He talked like Mickey Mouse.
He barely whispered like, Hey, Coach, come on, man. Hey, Chuck, you got a big old chest. Spit it out.
You never, like, when you meet people and, like, the body does not match the voice, it's like,
right.
It was like a ventriloquist. Yes. You hear him talk, it's like, that doesn't match, Coach. But what a great guy. What a great guy
he was.
And boy, that coaching staff, we could talk like this forever. That coaching staff they had for 14 years, FSU was in the top 5.
Mickey Andrews.
Mickey Andrews.
Think about Odell.
Odell
was on that staff.
Coach Chest.
Gladden was on that
Coach
staff.
Gladden. Coach Burnham.
Burnham was there.
Coach Burnham.
I mean, it was like you said, and they were just together for a long time.
Yeah, they were.
They were there a long time. I mean, and it's a place up there. God, I can't think of the restaurant because my daughter went to school at Florida State.
The Silver Slipper.
They would go in there. Those old coaches would go in there and have breakfast, like.
That was Jim and Mills.
Yeah,
Jim and Mills.
They were going to have breakfast.
Oh, best breakfast in town, bro. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, that was that place got bulldozed too.
Oh,
Jim and Mills is no more. Yeah. Best hangover breakfast in Tallahassee. Boy. Oh my God, that was.
It was an all timer.
They have benches. They had benches, not tables. Yes. So you'd sit with other people and you just sit down there and
it's just like. The Gainesville had a place like that called Skeeter's.
Skeeter's Biscuits.
Skeeter's had it stayed out on 13th Street.
Yep.
It was the best.
Oh, and the line would be out the door.
Out the door. And then they moved it downtown. And I was like, it just flustered up. But if it had stayed, remember, that line was out the door. It was all the way in the parking lot. Like, you couldn't get, and everybody.
And that was at 3 o'clock in the morning, Coach. I can tell you. Because I was there.
Jay, I was there. And you go in there, and the guys up there singing. And,
he did a banjo. Oh my God. And they bring you those biscuits. They were this high. They were like
a heart attack waiting to happen,
Oh, it was good though. It was good. Oh man, the old school breakfast places, man. Oh, bring me back to the 80s and 90s, Coach, and just leave me there.
They should have left Skeeters where it was. And Skeeters would still be there.
Yeah.
Like, why would you move it? And they thought that people
you
would
take
still out of the bars.
You take recruits there, right?
No, because it was too late. I couldn't take them out 1 o'clock in the morning.
But they'd be there anyway.
But they would go to players.
Take them.
Most of them would take them. But it was the best. Like, it was the best place. Like Skeeters.
Yeah. Skeeters, best. Jim and Mills. Oh, yeah. Right there on Pensacola. You guys know what I'm talking about.
That's right.
All right. I said Christian Roseboom. I gave you his PFF grade. Your thoughts on him coming over?
Well, like you said, he had a really good year last year. I think he started 15 games. But they're going to, if anything, I think that he will be with Azzaloni, and then
Roseboom, and then you got
Servassier.
Servassier.
So you got those three guys.
And they're going to draft somebody high.
They got to draft someone high. And then you get somebody, the rotation is what's big. And Roseboom could be a good special teams player too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to play him on special teams if he's not a starter.
Yeah, and you get to the guy coming in from Pittsburgh, the older fella who hopefully he can make the special teams better because they weren't very special last year.
Oh, yes. Killebrew.
Yeah, Killebrew's coming in. And the coach, Danny Smith.
Yes.
Danny, I think, is that right? Now hopefully he can bring some juice.
And Danny's been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
He's been in the league a long time.
73 years old.
Yeah, it's very successful at Pittsburgh. So I think Danny can bring a lot of juice to the special team. But they just got to get a good core of guys, because I think with special teams, you just need a core of guys.
Yeah.
And these are your guys. And they take so much pride in it because they know, a lot of them know they're not going to play. The only way you're going to get on the field is something really happens.
Make something happen.
And then, so now your opportunity is special teams. Is, you look at punt, it's the first play of defense, and you look at kickoff, return is the first play of offense.
That kickoff return defense, kickoff coverage last year was so bad. I mean, it was a Buffalo game. I think they started across the 50 4 or 5 times. I mean, that's just, it can't happen.
Well, and what's tough is you started like a 50, and
With
then they
Josh
go
Allen.
20 yards. They're in field goal range. So I think I said we had to be one of the worst in like giving up points on the first drive, just because of where the ball ended up.
Yeah,
and you're like, God Almighty, we just got to cover it.
Yeah,
and then you get down there, and all of a sudden the guy gets out of his lane, and then the ball, it hits to the outside, and it's down the sideline, and it's getting tackled at the 50.
Yeah, no bueno. Anything else you got on that sheet there, Coach? You want to bring
I
up?
was just, I was just had some of the numbers here with Lavonte, which was unbelievable.
Yeah, he's going to be missed.
Oh,
he's going to be missed. And
big time.
This feels like this is just an end of an era for the Buccaneers. With Mike and then even Gene Deckerhoff leaving, Tom Moore leaving. It's just. But you start over.
Yeah,
you start over.
You start over, and the thing about it, you can start over, and you can get it. You can get it jump started again.
Yeah,
because
they need a big draft.
Well, you think about it. Before we won the Super Bowl, we were kind of like, kind of teetering around and like where we are really at. Then
Tom Brady walks through the door.
Get Brady in the door, then boom, there goes the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Then everybody gets all fired back up again.
Yeah, but Tom Brady ain't walking through that door. And I love Baker. I love Baker.
I don't know if it's, but like you said, if you get enough around Bake, he can make it happen.
Well, they scored 30 points a game when Liam was here.
That's what I'm saying. If you get enough around him, he can make it happen.
He needs to be healthy.
And that's the thing. I think
he probably played 3 games last year he shouldn't have played.
Well, if you look at if the offensive line stays healthy.
Yes, exactly.
Then you got a chance. And because that core, that group of guys, I don't know if they played any games together because, Tristan was hurt at the very beginning. Then Luke got hurt. So now you're sitting there.
And you had 2 backup guards.
You had to move Barton outside, which Barton is one of the best centers in the league. So
you like him?
I like him.
A lot of people are down on him. And I was those 2 guards he was playing next to were not very good.
It's not that. It's just he never got settled in because you think about he goes from center to tackle.
Yeah, for 3 games.
For 3 games. So he is really a center. Like he is the core, and he can sit there and go.
I love him. I love the way he gets off the ball, his athleticism. He's got size.
Without a doubt.
Smart kid.
And it's tough. It is a tough kid.
Yeah.
No. I think he's a really, really good football player.
Yeah.
And once you get all those guys back, then you got a chance.
Let's just keep Vita and Cansey healthy, and we'll see what happens.
Because you got to keep those 2 guys healthy. Because on defense, if those 2 guys are healthy, last year they didn't get to play together at all for 1 game.
1 game.
And then the year before that, I think Cansey was hurt a little and Vita was hurt a little. But if we can get those guys together, then we got a chance. A big time chance. But replacing Lavonte is going to be big. It's going to be big. You got to replace.
You got to draft an edge.
You got to draft an edge. You got to, because you'd like to see. You bring Muhammad in. So,
but he's a rotation.
Yeah, he's a rotation player. He can't play. You got to draft it. Like Yaya's a good edge. You gotta have a guy who could complement Yaya.
Yeah.
Because Yaya's, he's a powerful rusher, but you need a guy with some quickness to him. And
you got to go edge at 15, inside linebacker at I don't know what the second pick is, but in the second round.
Second round, yeah. And
because you're going to get two really good players.
Messidor's sitting there, he's a really good edge player. He's a little older, but
can he drop in coverage?
Well, last year he just put his hand in there,
just go.
He rushed up the
That's
field.
not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, Coach.
No,
kind of like it. I kind of like it. We'll see. Hey, thanks for jumping in again, Coach. Always great to see. Great stories, man. I wish you could hear either one I'll take. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. I want to get into a little bit of Rays baseball on the field. Opening day is today. We got Yankees and who the heck are they playing today? Help me, Timmy. Anyway, they're playing. And,
no clue.
And then we'll talk about the Rays as well. Quick break. Yes, the Giants. Thank you. As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. Hey, lots going on at Genesis of Tampa, selling amazing vehicles and doing great things in the community. And March is Gray Bull Rescue Military Appreciation Month. A portion of all vehicle purchases go towards a donation to Gray Bull Rescue, who recently saved dozens of Americans from the cartel violence in Mexico. A great organization. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Wear green, buy green, save green. Wear green to Genesis of Tampa on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, for $500 off any vehicle in stock. Buy anything green, that's green in color, cars, SUVs, you get $1,000 off. Also, buy a vehicle between March 14th and 17th, and you'll be entered to win a trip to Ireland on us. How about that? Of course, Genesis vehicles are the best in class for value, technology, luxury. And there's a National Genesis Signature event going on currently to get 1.9% financing. Limitations apply. Whether it's the G70, G80, 90 sedans, or the incredible SUV lineup, take a test drive and see what everyone is talking about. It's special. Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue. Tell them JP sent you. Hey, the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler, so don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. At the Golden Diamond Source, they can design anything you want personally. The Golden Diamond Source can help you trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase as well. And with gold prices at record high, now is the best time to do it. They only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source, so if it's a real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Bad idea. And with the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program, you can learn all about the 4 C's in all the different shapes and styles. And they are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com.
It's a love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucks and Rays play. We'll see you there.
Sunshine State, where the storms roll in. Gotta keep your roof strong and never give in. From hurricane winds to that summer heat, pitch roofing's here and they're hard to beat. From shingles to metal, they got the skill, fixing up your home with a builder's thrill. When your roof's in trouble and you don't know who to call, just remember Pitch Roofing, they'll cover it all. Pitch Roofing, roofing done right, keeping you safe day and night. In the Florida sunshine or stormy skies, Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back. Coach and I talking the whole time, and he said we got to go to lunch next week. We got to get our talking in. So much to get to. Coach and I, Timmy, just we've shadowed each other his entire career, my career. I've been in almost every Florida State game that he's coached, in Louisville, FSU, all that stuff for years and years and years. So, and USF. So, what a great guy, great man. I love talking football with him. We are brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. Man, I can't say enough about my new GV70. It's not new. It's 2023, but it is a pre-owned car that feels absolutely brand spanking.
What color did you get?
White. It's classic white, and it's got great trim on it and black interior. I mean, classy, way more classy than me. And
impossible.
I love it, man. It is so comfortable, and the drive is so perfect. These Genesis cars, listen, I'm telling you, you can go get your Mercedes, you can go get your high-end SUV. It's not better than the Genesis. And you're going to pay tens of thousands of dollars more, tens of thousands. So go test drive these at Genesis of Tampa. And I can't tell you about the experience. It's so much different than any deal I've ever been in, a car dealership where they always so slimy. These are like really great people, Jordan and John, all of them. They really do a great job over there. Mike Murphy, obviously, who owns Kingmakers here at Tampa, kingmakerstampa.com. He's the boss, and it starts with him. And he is just a class act, great dude, honest guy, like really, he's a man of the people. He's his hard ass worker. It's that whole culture through the Murphy Auto Group is what it's all about. I mean, they make great deals. They make great deals, and they want happy customers. They really, really want happy customers. So there it is, baby. Woo, that's sharp. I smell
money. I smell money.
Well, you would think.
No, I don't mean expense. I mean, that's just the vibe that it uses, right? Yeah.
No, it does. In fact, I park right next to a Porsche Macan in the parking lot, and you can't tell the difference. They just look that, and that thing's freaking $70,000 more, and a lot more headache too. That's the other thing about these Genesis cars is they hold their value, and their maintenance level is so much less than those other cars, like ridiculously less. So yeah, it's a rich person's car that you don't have to be rich to drive it, because I ain't rich. I'm a ham and egger, but I got a great deal.
Yeah.
I beat him up. I beat him up a little bit.
Good for you.
I'm like, is that the best you can do? Am I really a VIP?
Prove it.
Prove it. It's part of it. It's part of it. Right? But yeah, beat him up a little bit if you go in there. Tell him JP said beat him up. Make a deal. Make him a deal. They can get mad at me. Be people coming in. You can do better than that.
JP said you can do better.
Do better than that. But I love the experience. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right. Where are we? Let's get to some of the comments here.
Nathan Elliott says your car looks like a soccer mom ride. I disagree, Nathan Elliott. I've seen soccer mom rides. That is not one.
Really? It's giving you soccer mom vibes?
No, not at all.
I don't think so. But I get it.
It's not a minivan.
What else we got here? Justin Outs says Nathan Elliott, Tampa Bay Buccaneers will present I Am That Man. This will chronicle the life of Lavonte David. Go Bucks. Oh. All right. We need to get Trent Cooper to do that one as well, who did the Bucks documentary.
Yeah,
I bet he'd love to do that. That is that's a movie. That is a movie. Aviation says Chad Ocho, Liberty City legend. Yep, absolutely, man. Yeah, there's a documentary on Liberty City Pee Wee football. I can't remember where I watched it, but there's there's wagering going on. There's on like Pee Wee football.
I believe he's changed his name back to Chad Johnson now. I don't think he's Ocho anymore.
Oh, really?
Like legally, yeah.
Growing up? Oh. Matt Duria says, Tim sounds like she wanted out of your house as much as Mike wanted out of one pug place.
Yeah, I'm not sure which divorce was dirtier.
Yeah, stay dirty. Alex Nunn says, I'm so confused why there's so much negativity to an ownership that genuinely loves this beautiful area. Are we talking about the Rays or the Bucks?
I believe that's a Bucks. We were talking Bucks when he made that comment.
Okay. This is a good topic.
Maybe it was Rays. It might have been Rays too. I don't know.
Was it Rays?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was Rays oriented. Yeah, this is something I talked with Ken Babby about, is that I told him, I said, you guys got to get out there more. We got to see your local ownership. I want to see Will Weatherford. I want to see Fred Ridley. I want to, obviously Fred's a little busy at the Masters right now. Coming up, but I'd like to see, more of Dan Doyle being a part of this, of Dex Imaging. They've got a lot of great Mike Murphy. I'd like to see more of Mike Murphy out there talking about this, because these are guys that really care about this area, and Will enumerated it very, very well. And there's a ton more, and this is so much different than the previous ownership. And I'm on record as saying that it's been ownership, as you all know very well, the previous ownership that was the problem, and it was. But to Will's point in his column is that the timing is, this opportunity has never been better, and it won't be here for long. I'm telling you, if we miss this opportunity and we're like, oh, well, we got to get this tuned in a little bit better, they're gone. And I don't mean that as a threat. And this is not them saying that at all. I think they'd love to stick around here and try to figure it out. But there's no, again, I've told you guys this 100 times. There's 10 cities out there begging for this deal. Begging.
That's
and there's
Orlando.
To God that the John Hills of the world and the John Romanos of the world and the Pearl Clutchers and all these guys on Facebook, you know who they are, Field of Schemes, they hope that they sway the day, which is why we, as visionaries and people that want to be Tampa Bay to continue the momentum as one of the great cities in the world, not just the United States of America, but the great cities in the world. This project puts you over the top. This project puts you over the top. When you fly in to Tampa Bay, you're going to see, first of all, the beautiful water that is this community, just the incredible surroundings. That is we take it for granted, quite frankly, probably every day. But to be driving over the Gandy and the Howard Franklin and Clearwater, all of it, it's such a beautiful place to live, and our beaches and everything. So you fly in and you see the water, and then you look down and you see this incredibly iconic stadium and this beautiful, mixed-use area around it, Raysville, whatever we're going to call it, restaurants and, iconic park areas and a new college and the football stadium right next to it and whatever renovation that's going to take on. And all of these great things that are happening, and you have a Major League Baseball team that plays here and a football team that plays here and national championship games that take place in this stadium. By the way, a Raymond James Stadium that we built for less than $200 million. And back then these same people were clutching their pearls. Oh, why are we giving the Glazers all this money and they're going to make money? Yeah, they did. They made money, and we got to keep our NFL team. And we're not Orlando. We're not Orlando. We're not the joke and Orlando is. I mean, it is. It's the theme park capital of the world. We're freaking Tampa Bay. We're a world-class city. We ain't no Mickey Mouse operation. And guess what? We don't build Raymond James Stadium. It's the Orlando Bucks. You want to make it the Orlando Dreamers and watch your baseball team go to Orlando?
You know what Orlando's full of? They're full of dreamers.
That's what they are. Keep dreaming. You know, and listen, Orlando is what it is. It's a theme park place, and that's fantastic. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. But those 70 million visitors that come there, you build something iconic that has a bright line straight to it, like will probably happen here, because it's going to go from airport to airport. And what's right next to the airport? The new stadium. Yeah. A bright line coming right here from Orlando. And then a shuttle to Raysville. 70 million people a year. You take advantage of it. So, I mean, it's such an awesome opportunity. And again, it's the but-for argument. If the Rays aren't coming to that piece of land, it's worthless. It's a drain. If all you guys are, we got these other priorities in the city and the county and blah. Guess what? You don't build this, more resources are going to that. You ain't getting anything out of that place. For 20 years, they've had a CRA in Drew Park. Nobody's done anything. You put a stadium there, and in this project, you have 12,000 jobs. You have property values that go through the roof. You have all the jobs that it takes to build, and the $8 to $10 billion that this group is going to put into your community. You're clutching your pearls on $1 billion, which I know sounds like a lot of money, but it's really not when you're talking about an $8 to $10 billion build out. And the property taxes that are going to come from this. Just look at the Battery. That everybody said, oh, it's a horrible deal for Cobb County. Oh, it's a field of ski. Oh, it's a terrible drain. No, in seven years, they've paid off most of the debt. And they're making $40 million off the excess taxes and all the tax base. And the Cobb County payment is $16 million. So these things are investments. They're not a drain like that piece of property is right now. And it stop being so small-minded. You need projects like this to continue the velocity of cash and the economic impact and economic activity that Tampa Bay needs to survive. And by the way, we are still a tourist community. What a better way, like Team Ken Babby said, this is like building a theme park where 10 million people are going to visit a year. 9 million people went to the Battery, and this is going to be bigger and better. So these projections are not pie in the sky. They're real. And there has to be some value engineering, as Ken Hagan said on his show last week, and get it done. But again, if you're waiting for the perfect time and the perfect situation, that doesn't come. Bold leadership demands that you have to take some risk. And I don't even think there's much risk in this project, to be quite frank. I think there's very little risk to the taxpayer and an enormous amount to gain. If these projections are right, and $6 billion are coming back to the community in terms of a $1.15 billion investment, you're an idiot not to do it. And all you people talking about, we got to do this, well, that's going to generate money to go back into the general fund once the bonds are paid off. It's a 30-year deal, folks. It's not 7, it's not 10, it's not 15. It's 30 years, the life of a stadium. And in Raymond James' case, it's going to be longer than that. It'll be 45 years, 50 years. What an investment. Less than $200 million, 3 Super Bowls, 2 national championships. You kept your NFL team. Bowl games galore where USF plays, concert, stadium, all that stuff. None of it comes here. That's the greatest investment this city and county's ever made. And now you have another and now you have another opportunity to do. And by the way, if you don't spend it on this, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but there's a lot of fraud and waste in Hillsborough County. You know, if you don't spend it on this, you think this money is going to magically appear and go to fix your sewers? You're an idiot. Ain't happening. Unless you build something like this and you improve the tax base and you put more money into the general fund. I think it's pretty obvious. that this is but there's a lot of negativity out there and it needs to be squashed, which is why you, again, and I'll put them out there again today, the commissioners, city commissioners, county commissioners, city council and county commissioners will give you all their emails, and I'll write up. It doesn't have to be a long letter like Will did. Just something short and concise that they'll actually read, a couple paragraphs, and you can add to it what you like, or you just cut and paste and send it to them. But you got to get off your ass and do something, and get off your ass and get 10 of your friends to do the same thing. Send it to them and said, here's the addresses. Just please cut and paste and send it if you want the Rays to stay. Otherwise, it's done. They're gone. And I don't say that lightly, and I'm not threatening anything. And they're going to be around here for a while, and maybe there's a deal to be worked out. But I just, they got options. They're not going to say that. They won't say that. But don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Ashley says, because when my wife comes in, I have to definitely put it up on the screen or I'll be killed. Says, dreaming isn't a bad thing. LOL. I never hear JP complain about seeing the fireworks from our neighborhood. No, it's nice. It's nice. But that's the Disney thing. Orlando's a great place for theme parks. Yeah. And a nice place to live. I had no question about that in some areas. But it's not a place for a baseball team. They don't have an owner. They don't have any public money that has been because the people of Orlando, the mayor and all the city, they know baseball's not coming to Orlando. It's not happening. It's not. The demographics don't work. The location doesn't work, especially with the Rays in Tampa. It's not happening. They're not wasting their time on it. But there are other cities that are definitely viable that would take this deal in a heartbeat. And and if they don't, maybe they will look to Orlando. I don't know. Because Orlando would kill for this deal. They would bend over backwards. They would do anything to get it. So don't be stupid.
Orlando's a better suited. Nothing against Orlando. Again, it is what it is. It has its moments. It has its attractions. A city like Orlando that's a tourist city, a heavily driven tourist city, is for those other leagues like the UFL. Has a team. MLS, I believe, has a team or used to in Orlando, and the NBA. Let them have that.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I'm like, we're not screaming for an NBA team here. Nobody would go. Number one, number two, we don't need it. We got one 70 miles up the road.
Yeah,
70 miles to Orlando. I want to go to an NBA game. I can, and I've been to plenty in the last few years. I'll go, and I love watching, and they put on a great show. They do a great job at Amway Arena. Or no, it's Kia, I think now. A great job. It's a fun atmosphere. It's kind of a Lightning game, type of atmosphere. They do a fantastic job, and it's basketball. So we don't need it. It's right down there, and the Orlando people that want to see Major League Baseball will come here, especially if it's in Tampa, and it saves them. That's a big difference for them. So I think there's so much positivity that comes from this thing, and the negative people, man, even their columns, like compare the John Hill column to the Will Weatherford column, put them side by side and read them and ask yourself, which is more inspiring and which is just an old curmudgeon. Just it's just so pathetic. It's so pathetic. Stack them up. Go read your Romano and Hill columns and then read the Will Weatherford and say, which side do you want to be on? I mean, come on. You know what? I'm going to try to repost those on social today. Read these three columns and ask yourself, which side would you like to be on? The side of clutching your pearls and counting your little pennies and saying everything that's wrong with the deal, and we're going to lose tennis courts that are going to be rebuilt at half a mile away, bigger and better. The students are going to have to be in portables for a couple of years. It's called progress. Sorry, be a little inconvenience, but you're going to get a new freaking brand new campus. That's going to be a huge upgrade on your dilapidated one that you have now. And you're going to have tons of opportunities for your students that you didn't have before. I mean, you really got to look through a pinhole to try to be negative about this thing. But that's what these people do. It is what it is. I'll be on the other side, even if I lose. I don't want to ever be on that part of it. All right. Thank you guys. As always, sorry we didn't get to all of your great comments here today. We really appreciate you guys jumping in. Thanks to Charlie Strong for joining us. Tomorrow, we will have Brian Bradley live from Morning Skate. That's in the book, and more of your comments. And, of course, we'll have baseball to talk about. I believe Big Go's going to come on as well tomorrow. And we got Rays baseball tomorrow.
Yes, aviation. There is a From the Rough live at 5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Eastern.
Yes.
Me and Johnny Gerber. Yes,
there you go. Some golf talk. All right. Have a great day, everybody.